morning. GE's global CEO Jeff Immelt believes that policy paralysis has not hurt the long-term growth potential of the Indian economy. Immelt says while structural policy challenges exist, India still has tremendous opportunity to grow. GE's top boss says strong leadership and decisive reforms are indeed the need of the hour. Speaking exclusively to ET Now, Immelt expressed confidence that GE will be able to execute its $17 billion deal with Alstom. Here are excerpts of the exclusive interview.
I think the people are fantastic. I mean, I'm so impressed by the people I meet, the business people that I meet, the other CEOs. I think that's been fantastic. So in many ways, the micro part of India continues to work and work well. I think, look, there's structural governmental challenges that remain in India. Sometimes they get better, sometimes they get worse. I think the mood about that is in a negative state right now because you're in a big election. But on a big picture, you know, if you look at India over time, I think it's more that the progress continues to be made, but there's just untapped potential. You know, I think on one hand you say things get better. They're clearly better than they've been in the past. But on the other hand, there's tremendous opportunity to be even better if we can only unleash better infrastructure and things like that. And so it's frustrating at times, but I always look at the long view, and in the long term, India is a place you want to be.
I want to talk about some of those challenges, but first, you know, you'd set a target for your Indian unit to grow at about 30% year on year. I know you don't give out revenues of your individual countries, but I'm assuming now, thanks to the slowdown, you're nowhere close to that.
Look, I'd say this year we'll have another good growth year. Last year was a tougher year, right? So we've had kind of I would say a zigzag over the last couple of years, but with a generally positive trend. But, you know, for us to hit on all cylinders, we need things like the power sector to work, right? We need electricity, power generation to work, because it's such a big, important industry for us, and that's at a challenging juncture. I mean, we still do good business, but it could be much better, yeah.
In 2007, you said that if you had $1 to invest, it would be in India. Does that still hold true?
Well, look, there's more places for me to invest today than ever before. You know, one of the things I would say,
as well, huh?
one of the things I would say in general, you know, for a company like GE is, it's no longer a China-India dimension. It's more of a global dimension. We do more business in more countries today than ever before, and they all show a pretty good promise. You know, what I would say is that I'm still an investor in India. I still think there's good potential. You know, I think what you have to be flexible in business in general, but particularly in India. And when one door closes, another door opens in this country. So one of the big investments we're just completing is a manufacturing facility in Pune. I think that could be huge. You know, in other words, with good productivity, a relatively affordable currency right now, you know, maybe India becomes a manufacturing hub the way it was a backroom BPO hub 20 years ago. So I think India, you know, when one door closes, another door opens, and you have to stay fast on your feet, but you find your way.
I have to ask you about the Alstom deal, because that's been keeping you busy off late, but happy with the progress so far and confident that you'll be able to close that transaction?
Yeah, no, I think, you know, we think we have a good offer. It's been endorsed by the Alstom board. You know, we've, you know, in many ways, we're very experienced in Europe, and we're very experienced in France. We've been doing business there a long time, and done so productively, and as a good corporate citizen in the country. So we feel good about where we are. But that being said, you know, these things are processes, and it'll take twists and turns as time goes on. But we like the deal, and we think we put forward a good deal for the Alstom investors and for the country.
But Alstom hasn't shut the door on a potential counter offer. Are you worried?
You know, it's a public company bid, so like any country you do business in, when you do a public company offering, it means that there's no shop clauses, there's breakup fees, but there's also fiduciary outs for a board to say, I got a better offer, and what do you want to do about it? So it's just like any other public company.
So you're not worried about a bidding war, so to say,
Look, I think, we know what we want to do. We've thought about it. We've got great support from the Alstom board, and so I think our deal makes a ton of sense.